I I've been doing this a long time. uh, Over a decade now, we've been training leaders around the world. The majority of the millionaires over the last 2 years are my students. About a third of the millionaires in the world are my students. So we've been doing this a long time. Um, what I want to talk to you today is getting back to some basics of how you enroll someone and how do you make sure that you increase your oh, that's my alarm to tell me to get on this call. Um, how do I enroll people in such a way that I increase the chance that one, they become longtime consumers, and two, they they become a consultant. And what you have to realize is many of you think kind of a fake thought in your head that you've got to get over. And this is the fake thought. There's actually two of them. One, people join when they want to join. That's not true. And two, people become consultants because it's their idea that they want to share with other people. That's not true either. Both of those things are completely influenced by you. For instance, I had a team of five, 3 months ago. We asked them to do 50 reach outs or reach backs in 1 week to see if they couldn't set up at least 5 appointments from 50 reach outs or reach backs. Now, reach back meaning someone who has said no in the past, and now you're reaching back to them to see if times have changed and you can turn that not now into a yes. So they did 50 reach backs or 50 reach outs. And that's simply, hey, I've got some great information. When I saw this, I thought of you. Can we get on the phone and talk? That's it. Simple text messages, nothing complicated. And from that, everybody on the call had 5 appointments that week. And on average, they enrolled 3 new people. Now, what does that mean? It means that people are choosing to join when you put in the energy to reach out to them. Most of you only enroll what I call low hanging fruit. You'll enroll them if they reach out to you. Oh, I've been watching your videos. I'm so interested. Can I join? You enroll that person, low hanging fruit. But very few of you are deciding, hey, I'm a pro, and a pro means I've got some numbers to hit every single week. That means I'm going to reach out this many times with a goal of making this many presentations every week. When someone says how they're doing, I don't really want to know the results first. I want to know their actions first. Now, we've been under this COVID craziness for a couple of months now. We've had lots of time to be on the phone. Some of you have made a little excuse in your head, and that is, of course, no one's want to get started during this crisis. And that, of course, is not true. I just talked to someone who bounced someone from zero to executive in like 5 weeks, and they live in downtown Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Do you know where Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario is? Neither do I. It's too far on your way to the North Pole. It's way up there. I think from my house, it's a 13-hour drive north. I don't want to go there. It's cold. They have winter till August, and then they have a week of summer, and then it's winter again in September. Not interested in going there. The guy went executive in 6 weeks. During the COVID crisis? Yes, during the COVID crisis. Oh, some of you are prejudging people on what they're going to say to you, so you're not reaching out to them. We've got a rule. Never try to interpret silence. I sent out text messages and Julie didn't text me back. Do you know what that means? Now, I know what some of you do. You make up a story where Julie's decided to fly to New Orleans, buy a voodoo doll that looks like you, fly home and stick pins in it because you sent her a text message. I had one lady tell me one time, all of my friends are unfriending me on Facebook because of how much I post about isogenics. So I went on her page and I flipped through it and I couldn't find any posts about isogenics on her Facebook page. So I asked her, could you give me 3 names and phone numbers so I can call the people and ask them, why did you unfriend this woman? And she said, what do you mean? Well, you said all my friends are unfriending me. Well, no one had unfriended her. She felt like they were unfriending me. All these excuses while you don't act like a pro. pros do? Pros say, hey, it's the beginning of the week. What's my number of reach outs or reach backs? What's my number for presentations? Let's get to work. And they just put in the work. So, enhancing them, but you got to take a step to make it easier rather than harder. So, if someone's going to become a sharer like you got to have a great product experience and they got to be willing to enjoy a free share. Let's start with product experience. You fell for take the time to learn in order to find out how they're going to get started. Too many people say, oh, they wanted to lose 15 pounds. I actually had a gal. She says, I only want to lose 15 pounds. I said, why would you start anything over 15 pounds? Who cares about 15 pounds? I could eat lunch and gain 15 pounds. No one cares about 15 pounds. Why do you really want to get started? Because 15 pounds is what I weighed when I got married. Oh, wow. You want to weigh exactly what you got married? Yes. How long you been married? 7 years. Have you had any babies? I've had 2 babies. So you've had 2 babies, and it's 7 years later, and you want to get back to 15 pounds. Nah, that's not the real reason, is it? No, it's because my husband doesn't find me attractive anymore. You gained 15 pounds and somehow the mojo went away? I don't believe that at all. Let me guess. Has your husband made a pass at you in the last 2 weeks? Well, of course he has. Well, the mojo's not gone anywhere. What's the real reason? Oh, it's all about me. It's all in my head. I've had 2 babies, and I think it's changed me, and I'm kind of messing with my head. I want to feel differently after being married for 7 years and had 2 babies. Oh, okay. Then we're not joining for 15 pounds, are we? No, we're not. No one joins for a number. Get that in your head. No health goal has a number in it. Stop falling for numbers. There are no numerical health goals. For instance, I'm a car guy. I like cars. I know things about horsepower and torque that no one cares about. No one buys a car because it has 400 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. No one. What do they buy it for? Because it's silver and got a sunroof. They don't care about any of the numbers. They don't care. They only buy the sunroof. My wife once bought a car that she'd never driven because of the sunroof. I said, honey, we can't buy a car for the sunroof. I am buying this car right now. Look at this sunroof. I said, honey, take it for a test drive. She drove it 50 feet and put it back in park. So there we go. Get a test drive. Now, can I buy the car? Why? She wanted the sunroof. Now, afterwards, she said it was because she wanted a 4-wheel drive. Nope. She wanted a sunroof. Why? Had an emotional story tied to sunroof. That's all. No big deal. No big deal. Know that when you're talking to someone, you need to find out why they're getting started, or you can't tell them why they should get started. For instance, we have kind of a 3-question process that takes 30 minutes to enroll someone. And half of it is you asking questions. So we ask the magic question. Imagine nutrition could transform anything about your health. Tell me, what would you choose to transform first? Now, they'll give you a softball, and when they give you a little softball answer, probably a number, say, okay, that's cool, but what's the real one? And ask another question, and ask another question. We tell you that you can ask questions for 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, you'll actually find the story. You'll know the emotional story, and it won't be a number. In that 15 minutes, more alarms, you shouldn't be doing the talking. You should be doing the listening. You should be talking for about 5 minutes and listening for 10. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Do the math. You should listen more. Why? You'll find out the real reason. I had a great big cop tell me one time. He said, PK, I finally did it. I said, what'd you finally do? I finally followed the 3-step method. What do you mean? I taught it to you 3 years ago. I was too scared to use it. It's really scary. I said, you're 6'5" and you carry a gun. Why are you afraid to do a 3-question? It's scary. I didn't do it before. but I did it last week to a total stranger. And I enrolled her with a value pack, and she became an associate in 30 minutes just by asking the 3 questions and sticking to the point. Now, I'll tell you, most of you can't enroll someone in 30 minutes because you suffer from a very serious disease, almost as serious as COVID, and it's called ISA vomit. ISA vomit. And you like to tell your story. And your story is filled with very interesting facts that are only interesting to you. No one else wants to know about them, but you tell them over and over and over. In fact, sometimes you ask questions that are tied to your story as if that's normal. It's not normal. Here's a good rule for business. Don't be weird. I was on a tram in Las Vegas at an isogenics event, and it was 100 billion degrees outside. And a lady saw my little isogenics backpack and said, "So are you enjoying IsoFlush?" And I said, "No, I don't need any help with the IsoFlush department." Now that's a strange thing to say to a stranger. How's your poop? Not a good way to start a conversation. How's your poop? Because I'm Canadian, very politely, don't need any help in that department, which is a sign to the other person, change the subject, weird lady, you're grossing me out. She didn't change the subject. She double clutched, put it into 3rd gear, and went hardcore describing poop with me. I stopped her and said, "It's 100 billion degrees outside, and I'm getting off at the next stop. It's not my hotel. I'm leaving anyway. Why? I don't want you to talk about my bum anymore. I'm leaving. I'm going to burst into flames right here in Las Vegas, and I'd rather die that way than listen to you talk about my bum." Now, that's an extreme way, right? Very extreme. And you're thinking, I've never done anything like that. And you're wrong. You have. Maybe not someone's bum, but you brought up subjects that no one wanted to talk about. It's just your favorite subject. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Do the math. Listen more, talk less. I had someone's asking me a question, and I can't read the questions. Could you explain this to my friend? Your friend has that problem. Good. I'm just asking this for my friend. If you ask that question, you'll get to them saying, "Can you help me with this?" Now, here's a rule, and I want you to write it down. If you've got a pen, grab it right now. Okay? Grab the pen. This is the rule when you're answering a question. The length of the answer must equal the length of the question. Some of you get a very simple question, like, "Hey, does this work?" Now, that is a 2-second question. It deserves a 2-second answer. It sure does. But most of you, "Oh, does it work?" Well, let me tell you how John Anderson found ashwagandha in the hills of the Himalayas on the back of an elephant. Let's do that. Let's not, because who's on an elephant? Who's John? Why is he on an? Is this made in America? Because you just took us to Asia. What's going on? You got these favorite stories, and they're really long. I love Peter Greenlaw. I was taken to dinner with Peter Greenlaw because my mentees are also mentees of him. And they thought, here's the product guy talking to the business guy. It'll be great. Well, the good thing was there was lots of pizza, so I ate well. And Peter told a 20-minute story about ashwagandha and an elephant. And I just sat there and ate pizza. Just ate pizza for 20 minutes while this story went on and on and on. And I just smiled because I ate some more pizza. Oh, no, this is good. And he says, "So what do you think of that?" I said, "That's an amazing story." and completely useless when you're enrolling someone. It's something for ISA nerds to say each other instead of doing weed. No, stop. So what do you mean? No, it's a good story, but I'm not on the elephant, so I'm not joining. And I don't know who John Anderson is. God bless him. I don't know who he is. And I don't know what ashwagandha is. Sounds like sexy marijuana. Ashwagandha. Sounds like sexy marijuana. I bet you it's like what's the little blue pill? Viagra that you smoke. That's what ashwagandha is. No, it's not. Stop with the story. If someone asks you a question, make sure the answer is the same length as the question. Why? Because it makes them ask another question. Don't make them regret ever having asked you a question. I had a dear friend, known him for 30 years, says, does this stuff work? Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, but does it really work? Really does. Yep, he joined. That was my whole explanation of how it worked. Those of you who hand out food ideas for cleanse days while you're enrolling someone, are you high? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it. You don't need to do that. Why? They haven't joined yet. You're already scaring them at about a day they don't eat any solid food. Now, notice this. Every monotheistic religion in the world tells you to fast regularly. So fasting's not a new idea, okay? But in North America, we don't fast because we believe if we don't eat every 2 to 3 hours, we burst into flames. And that's why we look the way that we do. It's simple. It's just who we are. So the idea that someone is going to go, I'm going to not eat for how many years? 45 years. If you join this program, you get to eat again next. When you claim your Social Security check, you can buy some food then. Do you want to join? It sounds like one of those cults that's waiting for something to land and you cut stuff off when it lands. Stop it. Don't do that. Stop scaring them off. Not only that, if you don't send someone to work, back when we go to work, with a bar or a shake in their backpack or their purse, so that if they can't make it through the whole cleanse day, they can have a bar or a shake, you're evil. You're a bad person. You're not nice at all. You don't like humans. You like cats and dogs, and you don't like humans. You're anti-human. You're a bad person. Stop punishing people. Now, when I said that to Jill Burke one time, she looked at me like I had swore. What do you mean? I didn't say a bad word. I said, if you can't make it to supper, have a bar. You mean and break your fast? What will happen to your result? Nothing. You don't lose weight on cleanse days, dummy. You just let your God-given filters restore because you don't shove any food through it. Not eating isn't for losing weight. It's just to let your filters restore. It's not about losing weight. Stop telling me how much weight you lose on cleanse day. Why? Again with that alarm. Wow, I'm so popular. Stop. That's not what cleanse days are for. You're just for giving your filters a little rest. How do we know this is true? I said it 5 minutes ago. Every monotheistic religion in the world tells you to fast. Why? It's how your body works, stupid. It is. How it works. Not a new idea. Not original to us. Now, it does work. I went on a little period here for 3 months, doing overnight fasting pretty hard, like 18 hours, and then just a little bit eating 18 hours. And I dropped the 20 pounds that my doctor asked me to drop. So I'm down 20 pounds. Now, I'm still a large person because I'm a large person. If you've never met me in person, this part here is about the size of your abdomen. It doesn't look like it when it's on my body because I'm a 46 tall. But when I stand beside normal people and they take a picture of me and then they go home and go, oh my soul, his head's enormous. It is. This is a triple extra large motorcycle helmet head. It's really big. And my son can't fit my helmet over the top of his head because he's even bigger than I am. We're just big people. When I wear rings, I wear a man's 14 ring for my wedding ring, and that's his pinky ring. We're big people. It's okay. When I lose 20 pounds, it doesn't look like much happened, but my doctor asked me to lose 20 pounds, so I lost 20 pounds. Woo-hoo! How did I do it? Just an old idea. It's called intermittent fasting. Maybe you've heard of it. We call it cleanse days. So when you have the 15 minutes, get to their real health goal, and it's not a number. Then you simply describe your product line in about 90 seconds. Start at the top and go down. The top pack isn't the value pack, it's the ultimate pack. Mention the ultimate pack and make your way down all the way to the 30-day. Takes 90 seconds to do it. Mention the top two prices. Don't mention the bottom two because we're not trying to get them to buy the bottom two. We're trying to get them to buy a value pack. We found, well, we proved that if you use a script method to go from the top down, that takes about 90 seconds to read, you'll go to a base level of 30% value packs. Now, in isogenics, the international average is 9% value packs. Just by using a scripted method that goes from the top down, you'll go from 9 to 30. As you do it more, it'll increase, where I have mentees now that never sell anything other than an ultimate pack. Or I'll get the script and I'll post it to your page. I will. Yeah, and it works. And I want you to read it. I don't want you to memorize it. I don't want you to add to it because short matters. Keeping it very brief. And just feeling secure enough that you connected so well with them during the first part that they trust you to pick one of those 4 packs and they'll get going. The other question we ask them to do, and this sounds crazy, and some of you are going to go, this is something I'm never going to do, and that's why you're not going to make consultants, is we tell them why they should become an associate. Yes, they haven't had a shake yet. We tell them why they should become an associate, or at least consider it. Why? Because we're planting an idea in their mind as they enroll that they're not going to pay for all of their products over time. In fact, we tell people there are 3 ways that you can enjoy a free shake. The first way is one that everyone should do. Everyone should join IsaBody the day that they enroll. Why? Because they get free products. In fact, if a couple joins IsaBody and stays on IsaBody for a year, one of them gets a free shake every day all year long. They get lunch for free for the entire year. If you're not enrolling people with IsaBody, you're making a mistake. Make sure people join IsaBody. Secondly, we tell people, you may have some friends that want to do this with you, and maybe you don't want to do any customer service. That's okay. If you give their names to me, I'll enroll them, but I'll share my product introductory bonus with you, and you can get a free shake with it. In fact, maybe I'll just ship you a canister of shakes when they join with a value pack. Why? Because some people will not want to do any customer service, but we should congratulate them for sharing references with you. Now, please do not make fake consultants. Don't make people a consultant even though they don't want to do any customer service. I have too many people that I mentor that they're an orphan of an orphan of an orphan, and there's no support because no one above them wanted to do this. Someone just stuck them in there. Don't make fake consultants. Why? You're going to be enrolling enough people that you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And then the third way you get a free shake is, hey, you should become a consultant, an associate, so that when you find a couple of people that want to join you, I'll do the customer service with you, but eventually you'll do all it on your own. You'll be able to have a free shake. And we don't want there to be any delay in that money getting in your bank account. So I'd like you to consider becoming an associate, paying the $29 fee. So boom, when you have those 2 friends join, boom, you'll get your money back and get your products paid for. Now, all we're doing there is planting a seed. We're planting a seed for them getting a free shake one of 3 ways. Why don't we make it just they're going to do it or they're not going to do it? Because it's an increased level of commitment. IsaBody challenge, no commitment. I don't have to share with anybody. I just stay connected to my health goals. Boom, I get a free shake. Or some people see my great results, but I don't want to do customer service. That's okay. Share their names with me. I'll get you a free shake. Oh, okay, cool. A little higher level. And then that ultimate level is, hey, I'll enroll them. I'll become a consultant because I've already become an associate. Now, some of you are arguing in your head with me about talking about this the day they enroll. And let me be clear here. You're wrong. How do I know you're wrong? Because we created in Isogenics the Customer First program 4 or 5 years ago. And the first year that it happened, all of you had the same idea. Oh, we shouldn't ask them to become associates until they want to share, because that crystal money clock goes off as soon as they become an associate. I don't want to worry about that, them not getting that crystal money, so I won't even talk about them becoming an associate. And the result was a double-digit dip in rank advancing the first year. Those of you who are doing this as a business, we make our long-term money by rank advancing other people. If we have a double-digit dip in rank advancements, it means we make less money. Not a good plan. We found that if you'll do this the day that they enroll, boom, up goes the percentage of people who ultimately become consultants. It's 3 questions. It's all built into how you enroll people. First, find out what their real health goal is. It's not a number. It's an emotional story, right? Have a little simple 90-second script that starts from the top and goes down. Some of you, when you think about mentioning how much the Ultimate Pack costs, will have a slight case of diarrhea. That's okay, because you've never done it before, but it's not scary. It only takes 10 seconds to read the 2 sentences. But we only want to say the top number so that they can see that the value pack is half price. If you start at the bottom and go up, the value pack is now twice as much as the bottom pack. Not buying it. That's where we get those terrible numbers from. But if you start at the top and go down and it's in the middle, boom, instantly 30% of your enrollments become value packs. Instantly. Instantly. And that's not a number I'm making up. That number is 7 years old. We've proven it for 7 years. If you have a scripted method, top down, 30% value packs. Now, some of you that are already strong leaders, you're thinking, I don't need to use a script because I already sell value packs. Yeah, you do, but your method is non-duplicatable. Your people can't just become powerful like you so they can enroll value packs. You have to create a duplicatable method that they can use, which means you've got to dumb it down. You've got to dumb it down. So let's see if anyone has any questions about what we've thrown at you so far. That's a lot of information. You want to unmute if you got any questions to ask?
I know I'm getting questions about the 3 questions, the magical questions. What are they?
So the first one is, imagine nutrition could transform anything about your health. What would you choose to transform first? That's what starts the 15-minute conversation where you listen more than you talk. The second question is the little scripted method where you start at the top and go down and describe the 4 packs in such a way that the last question is, how would you like to get started? Hey, Priscilla, you got a really handsome guy with no shirt on behind you. There you go. Hey, dude. Sorry, just shaming a guy for showing his body off. It's okay. We're dudes. We're allowed to do that. And the third question is ask them about them becoming an associate. He did that on purpose. Oh, really? Let me guess, Priscilla, he changes his shirt like 17 times a day and usually in front of the house. Is that how it goes? Good job. Way to go. Hey, got a bod, got to show it, brother. What are you going to do? What you want to have, though, is a tight method for enrolling people that looks like what it is. Simple and obviously duplicatable. Yes, I will get the script to you. I've seen the question 16 times. I will get the script to Trisha and she'll share it with the rest of you, okay? I'm so glad this is recorded. Here we go. What I can tell you guys, if you'll get solid at realizing people enroll when you're deciding that they enroll, not when they decide. And people get free shakes because you deliver the free shakes, not because they want free shakes. I've had people, when I talk about others making consultants, where are they finding these people? Because I don't find any people that want to become consultants. It's not their idea. It's your idea. Did you really think they're going to hold you down and pay you so you told them how to become a consultant? Not how it works, guys. They become consultants because of how you enrolled them and because of how you showed them the value of getting a free shake. You're in control of when they enroll and what pack they enroll with and whether they get a free shake. Why does this matter? Here's some numbers, guys. Your highest retention rate from the pack is with the largest pack. If someone joins with an ultimate pack, 56% of them are still using the product 6 months later. 56%, more than half. It drops down to 40% if they start with a value pack. If they start with a 9-day, always spit when you say 9 days. They start with a 9-day, only like 9% of them are still using it after 6 months. You lose all these people. The other stat is if someone gets a free shake, that retention rate is even more. To the point that if they cycle once a month, 92% retention rate from cycling once a month. It's a mindset, guy. If you decide, I'm going to be great at listening, I'm going to find out their real health goal, I'm going to give them a great product experience, and I'm going to show them how to get a free shake, I'm going to help them get a free shake, hell or high water, they're getting a free shake. That mindset here, you change your numbers. Imagine nutrition could transform anything about your health. Tell me, what would you like to transform first? So, does that make sense, guys? I know it's a lot of stuff to throw at you in 30 minutes.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So now that membership is free, how do you approach them becoming an associate, paying to become an associate before they've got someone interested in trying the products?
We always plant the seed when they enroll that they want to become an associate because they may find someone the first week that wants to join them. That way they'll, boom, automatically be a consultant, and that money will go directly into their account because they pre-planned on that success. Now, some of you, because you've never done it, are skeptical. Not everybody does this, guys. Realize you're lucky if 15% of your people become consultants, which means 85 don't. But most of you don't even know what your conversion rate to consultant is. It's really simple. How many people have you ever enrolled? How many consultants have you ever made? That's your conversion rate to consultant. That's your percentage rate. We know that number climbs radically if you show them the value of becoming an associate. You're not twisting their arm, but you're also not hiding that truth from it for another day. Does that make sense, Sarah?
It does, but I still think that you would wait to have them to pay for the associate membership until they had someone to share with.
Yeah, and that's why our rank advancements dropped. That's why it happened. We had this idea that we should put the cart before the horse before the cart. You're going to have to lead them on that journey to get free shakes. Just what we found over the last 4 years. The waiting is what has hurt the conversion rate to consultant in isogenic. And it's hurt it quite badly. Yeah. You're welcome. Anybody with any other questions?
Thank you.
I have a question. You said that you send a canister of free shakes to somebody. Who was that you said you're doing that to, and how do you go about that?
Yeah. Well, if you have free shipping, you can just ship a canister to a different address. So you buy the canister and you ship it to them.
But who are you
referral that you are able to enroll someone with a good size pack.
Got it.
To someone who gives him a referral.
Sorry, there's a delay. I'm not getting your question.
So what you're asking is who you're sending
to. If someone gives you a referral and you enroll someone with a great pack, you give them some free shakes. I'm sorry with the delay. I'm not getting the question. Sorry. If you go to YouTube and type in the evolved economy, you'll see videos on everything that I've trained on here today, plus a whole bunch of other videos. I don't know how many videos are on there. There are videos on how to make different types of launch parties, how to enroll someone, how to go through the 3 questions, all that kind of stuff. Just go to YouTube and type in the evolved economy on YouTube, and there are videos right there. There's also some videos there of our mission in Africa. Sandy and I, my wife, 16 years ago, started a mission in Africa called Impact Malawi. And presently we serve 35 villages in Malawi, Africa. We have 5 preschools that we run there, scholarships for kids to go to high school and go to college. We feed kids every day. We don't know with what's going on now if we won't have another drought or famine coming through, so we're feeding even more kids. But we specifically target the youngest kids in Malawi because in their culture, when there's a famine, you let the youngest ones die. You don't feed them. You don't waste money on the youngest ones. So sometimes during famines, the only meal they're getting is from us. And so we've been there for 16 years. And that's all a part of what we do. You'll see some videos about Impact Malawi on our Evolved Economy site on YouTube as well. So hopefully that's been helpful and given you some nuggets there. I will get the script and send it off to Tricia. Maybe some new numbers that need to be added to it, but she'll do the editing and hand it off to you guys. But it really does work. Get in the habit of having that method, though, that goes from the top down in order to do it, and it really does change how you enroll people. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you so much, PK. Always amazing.
See you guys.
Bye, PK. Thank you. All right, guys. So as good as I said, right? He's so incredible. What a treat. Yes, Liz. So good. I'm going to send you guys that script. I'm going to go grab just for a second, let me go grab my computer. I'm sorry that the internet was so bad. I'm hoping that it's fixed. They were looking at it. Is there still a delay, or can you guys hear me good? Can you guys hear me good? Okay, awesome. So let me just really fast. So one of the challenges he talked about in the beginning is, and I wrote down my notes, I would love to hear from you, like what really stood out. So in the chat box, if you want to share what really impacted you, like hit straight to your soul, like I need to do that. I need to be better about that. I need to apply that. So I want to hear about it. But he talked about low-hanging fruit. How many of you like were impacted by that? Because I know that was me for so long, right? And I can honestly say that I was definitely plucking that low-hanging fruit for a long time. How many other people were like that, right? You're doing your posts, you're doing your Insta story, you're posting about your challenges and calls, and you're really just enrolling people that reach out to you. Anybody? Yeah, I'm getting some head nods. Yeah. So what he talked about, PK is a huge fan, just like David Wood, huge fans of becoming professionals in this industry. And so the thought that I had as I invited PK was, how can each of us stand a little taller, strengthen our posture a little more, and become professionals? One of the most impactful trainings I've had is from David Wood. And he talked about, just for a second, guys, in the chat box, let's talk about this for a minute. I want to hear what you're saying. But what kind of hours are you putting into a career? Like if you were to choose any career in the world, like what kind of hours are you putting in? How many years are we talking? So just tell me about a career and how many years it takes them to achieve that. I want you to think about how much money you would invest in a new business. All right, a new business. So you wanted a startup company, you have to look at everything: the overhead, insurance, the employees, the getting a brick and mortar or a website or whatever it is. Like, what kind of money are you talking to start a new business? All right. If you do go to school to become a doctor or a surgeon or a lawyer or a teacher or whatever it is that you're going to, even a massage therapist, like, you know, the careers that take a shorter time. What kind of years, what kind of sacrifice are you going to be making? And then how many years are you going to be interning in that career before you really even make any money? And for me, more importantly, how many years are you going to be paying off debt or continuing to build somebody else's dreams until one day you arrive? One day you arrive there, right? So just think about all those things. And this is not about bringing down any other career or industry, because I know that a lot of you either have great careers already, or your spouse or your loved one does, and it's something to be proud of. But the point that I'm simply trying to make is PK has really, and David Wood has really helped me, you know, become I'm not there yet, right? But to become a professional in this industry. You know, I'm 7 years in and I still feel like an infant in this business, right? I still feel new, right? And some of us, you know, we're 3 years in and doing well and we feel like we're on top of the world. No, you're still an infant. You're still new. Someone like Sybil, who has a long history in this network, she is a professional, or maybe she's going to say she's becoming a professional. Like, she's not quite there yet, right? Because it takes time, right? It takes effort. And you guys right now are perfect examples of what this takes, because it's a Tuesday afternoon and you're on this call, right? A lot of you are showing up every day also on a work it call where you're spending an hour working. You are becoming professionals, right? You're in it because you're making the sacrifices. And last week, you know, the question was poised that really, really hit me. And it was simply, and I think I read it. In fact, I know I read it. I'm going to read it right now to you guys, because it's in my planner here, and I'm going to read it again. Some of you already heard this, but this is a quote by Mark Dance, and I want you guys to really, really listen to this again. All right, because this is about becoming a professional. All right, truly becoming a professional. All right, and Mark Dance said, "Your vision must be a conviction." All right. Your vision will only burn as bright as you do. When this passion comes from deep within you, people will sense it and follow it. A vision is something you will not only see in your mind, but also burns in your heart. People will not be more dedicated than you are to this vision. The outcome is a willingness to sacrifice, which is what you guys are doing right now. This sacrifice can be seen in time, energy, and financial resources. If this is something that you are willing to personally risk your reputation and resources on, it's not worth pursuing. If it's not something, it's merely an idea, not a vision. Does your vision inspire you to the point of personal commitment? Okay. I love that quote because, you know, going back to my own personal experience, 7 years ago when I decided to do this, and really 6.5 years ago when I really decided to do this, it was a vision burning inside of me. And I don't talk about this experience very much, but the moment that I stood on stage in 2014, after being in the company for only 6 months, and I was honored with the opportunity to share my story for a few minutes, but it was in front of 15,000 people, which was really, really scary and emotional. But I stood there and I shared my mission. I shared my vision, just like Mark Dance just talked about. I shared my vision, which was to find those that are lost, hopeless, and living without purpose and drive, to find them and fill them with love, strength, and hope, and help them fulfill the mission that is unique to them. That mission still burns inside of my heart today. And it is the reason why I wake up every single day with a desire to be successful here, with a desire to reach out to more people, and with the desire to be on trainings like this where I can posture up and become bulletproof, right? And become, you know, I love Kathy Coover said, and maybe Sybil, you can help me quote this, but Kathy said, you know, a woman with, what did she say? I had it written on my board forever and my husband accidentally erased it. I'm gonna have to call her. But basically that a woman with drive and purpose is unstoppable, right? It's basically what it came from, is when you have the vision and you have the drive, you are unstoppable. And we're putting in the hours now to become professionals, right? To become professionals. And PK said, a professional doesn't just enroll low-hanging fruit. A professional uses the scripts and trainings that work, that are simple and duplicable, but a professional is reaching out to people, okay? So maybe let's find out this week, a couple of things, and let's record it, whether you have a planner or you have your own method of recording what you're doing. I want you guys to record every day how many reach out. So let's write this down. This whole week until next Tuesday when we get back together, let's be accountable to each other. Every day at the end of the night, I want you to write down how many people you reached out to, okay? And there's no shame to this number, all right? You can write down your goal, but I want you to write down the actual number, okay? So every night, how many people did you reach out to today, okay? How many people did you invite to something? Invite to a walking group. Well, I can't do that right now. Invite to a virtual book club. Invite to a call. Invite to the call on Thursday that we're going to have with Sybil and Carol Waldenberg, which I'm so excited about. These are two incredibly dynamic women, and we're going over product and compensation plans. So it's going to be a great call for new people. How many people did you invite every day? Okay. How many people did you share your story with? And I'm sure PK would, encourage us to ask the questions, but how many people are you having that conversation where you're sharing that vision inside of you and you're listening to their story, their desires, their wants, their dreams? Okay. How many people? And let's leave it at that for now. Just those 3 things, because I guarantee you guys, if you're putting a number down every single day, even if it's just 3 to 5 numbers, you're going to see success. You will. But if you're seeing a lot of zeros daily, maybe you're having conversations because of the low-hanging fruit. But if you're seeing some zeros, it's because you're not stepping up as a professional and reaching out to people and doing that scary thing. All right. If that's something that hurts, or you're feeling a little bit like, I don't like that, join the work it calls. There are so many being offered. The leaders in this group are offering so much to help us all grow. So join the work it calls, because those calls are going to help you do those things. All right. That's exactly why we have them. Thank you, Heidi. That's exactly why we have them, Michelle. Okay. Is to work and to help those that are new or that are scared or feeling timid to start reaching out, because we're going to help you and do exactly what is needed. Okay. All right. Sybil, thank you for sharing that quote. And, Kathy is a true example to me, because if we could just go back for a second before we get off this call, and we are ending a little bit short today. I hope that's okay for you guys. I didn't know how long PK was going to go, but Kathy is such a beautiful example of this, because if you really look at the Coover story, she was just like you and I, like truly, right? You look at her now and you see the success that she's had. Well, that's because of 10,000 plus hours, or plus hours that she's put in. You can't become the top of 3 different companies as an associate without a lot of hard work. You guys know that, right? And she did that, right? She was a dental hygienist. She was licking people's mouths all day. She was a massage therapist, right? So for the massage life. And she had a baby just like so many of you had, and she wanted to spend more time with him. And so she got into this industry and worked. All right. And then retired successfully, and then came back into Isogenics because she wanted to create something better, something that wouldn't fail like so many companies had failed her. Right. And so I share that simply so you can see the evolution of this mom working, and joining the industry and working, and then becoming the owner of a company, the best company in the industry, right? It didn't happen overnight. It was a process of posturing up, learning, growing, working, okay? So if you want a good example of who to follow in this industry, Kathy's a pretty dang good. Why I talk about her so much. I'm so grateful for her. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. Sybil, do you want to add anything? Or Stephanie, do you want to talk about the call happening this Thursday at all?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Sybil.
Well, you know, it's funny because that question that you posed, Trisha, about how long it takes, you know, to become a biggest is that people do think that it can happen instantly, and it just can't. For pointing that out, but yeah, I mean, I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I love it. Thankfully I love it, and I would do it every day, every hour if I could. I think I was up at 3 o'clock this morning, and you know, what got me out of bed was I wasn't really sleeping, and I thought, you know what, if I got up right now, I could actually go to work. I'm going to do it. I mean, like, I would rather work than sleep, and that's kind of a weird obsession, but it drives me, and I still love it to this day. So it's really there for people to stick with it. Stick with it. It will be worth it.
Mama.
Wow, I totally agree with you, Sybil. It's crazy how we really do love what we do, and there's so many times where we have to make a choice of working or doing something else because we really love what we do and connecting with people. And Sybil, that was a great segue into starting the introduction for Thursday, because Sybil will be speaking on Thursday. So we're very excited. I think Carol Waldenberg is on the call right now as well. They are going to be our two main presenters, and they both have such an incredible history with the industry, with Isagenix, and being in direct sales. So you guys can help present it to different people and intrigue them to be on the call, which we're averaging about 140 people every week, guys. So thank you so much for that. Such a blessing to be able to inspire people. But Carol has been in Isagenix, I believe, for 15 years. So from the beginning, her background was in the pharmaceutical business. So she's going to be discussing the products and health nutrition. Sybil, of course, as she just said, has been in the direct sales industry for, is it 25 years, Sybil? Yeah, and definitely found her home here. So she's going to be discussing a little bit of the direct sales industry in general and why she chose to be here. So I would really recommend that you guys think about people that you know that have been in the direct sales. I'm really cautious, just so you guys know, I've been in this industry myself for 27 years. So I'm really cautious about talking to people that are already in other companies. We don't want to raid other companies or try to coerce them to come over here. But if they're retired or if they're no longer with that company, please definitely talk to them and share that Sybil will be speaking, and share that she's had an experience in a different company, and she left that company to come here and has had such an incredible experience. So please reach out. And if you guys don't know how to search for people, if you want to search for friends, just go into Facebook, type in search, and either come up with an area or direct sales, network marketing, or different things like that. But be very careful. We don't want to try to pursue people that are already with a company and happy. But if they're not happy, or if they're no longer there, then we really want to let them know what we have to offer. So Thursday will be, again, as always, an extremely exciting event. But the pharmaceutical sales, been with Isagenix forever, about 15 years. And then, of course, bringing in a very long history of direct sales and network marketing. Thanks, everybody. The flyer should be up any second, and the event will be ready to go as well.
Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, go ahead.
So I just wanted to share with you guys, I was just looking back on my business page. I love PK. Like, I did not know he was speaking today. Like, I'm so excited. You guys, when my business was taking off the most is when I was implementing PK's information in my business page. Like, I just looked back and I can literally tell you that his systems really do work. And when I was using it, I got away from it so much when we changed to customer first and things kind of started changing. And I'm so stoked. I'm so excited because it's easy. It's just, his way is easy. And I'm so glad I got reminded today of how easy that is.
Yes, Nicole, exactly. And that's what I was sharing in the beginning, was the growth that I experienced when I was implementing, his trainings. So I love that. We're going to be sharing more and more of it, guys. It is very simple. You're going to continually hear, stop being weird and don't do that, because that's PK. Like, he's just fun and simple and easy. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Stephanie, thank you for the information. Sybil, for what you shared. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll never get that image out of my head of, the guy with the pickaxe, and he's in the cave and he's like going to the mountain, right? And then like literally maybe a foot before the gold, right? He stops and he's like walking away feeling dejected. And I always think of that because that's how it is. I mean, when I look at Carol Waldenberg, guys, who knows if I would be here today without Carol? Like, Carol is my upline, way, 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 way up there. And I love her so much because not only did she go first, but she's still here. She's still showing up. She's still doing it because she loves it. Not because she has to, but because she loves it. And it's because of that passion and love that I was enrolled years and years later, right? So that's the beauty of this business, is you keep working and you never know when a rock star is going to join your business, but all the incredible lives you're going to change in the meantime. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. And I'm really, really grateful for those kind of imageries, especially, the last one that I really think about is Lynn Hagedorn. In my very first event, she talked about, if you had $1 million, if somebody told you there was $1 million hidden under a rock in your front yard, what would you do to find that? Would you just like go flip over a few rocks and be like, that didn't work, what I mean, and walk away? No, you would be out there digging, shoveling. You would probably go rent some trucks. You'd hire your neighbors. You would call your friends and family over to help you because there was $1 million in your yard, right? I love that analogy because it's just keep digging. Do whatever you have to do to keep working, and to keep that vision alive. So thank you guys for showing up and for helping me keep that vision alive. I'm so excited. And Sybil, like you said, I'm feeling that same passion. Every day for the last 4 weeks, I've been up by like 5 a.m. and I just can't go back to sleep. I'm so excited to be a part of this and what's happening. So I love you all, and we will see you guys again next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Trisha, do you have Thursday's call?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
I do. Hold on. Let me grab. I'll put it in the thread. Bye, everybody.